Right.
Oh no, I need to sneeze. It's
Bless
so sunny
you.
today.
You have blessed the
Awful.
interview.
1. This is Bronnie, every Wednesday from 6 p.m. The Bronnie Show on KCC Live.
What's up, you guys? You are listening to The Bronnie Show, and I'm joined here with the one and only Emma Blackery.
Hi.
Studio applause. How's it going?
I am so excited for certain things I'm sure we'll be talking about in just a bit. I'm doing great. You know, everything's going great. I released a single a couple of days ago. Got some things in the summer, which are going to be so amazing. Everything's coming up Millhouse right now, Bronnie.
Isn't it just great when it's summer, the vibes are great, and there's like loads of plans?
I know, it's light outside in the evenings now. You know, I miss that so much.
Big fan of the summer. So to everyone,
2 seconds in, I'm already talking about the weather.
I know, we're like, we're so English. It's so classic. So to everyone watching and tuning in, you will have seen on my socials that we recently released our collab, our own take of Whole Celebrity Skin. It's gone down really well, so we are super stoked for everyone's support. And I'm going to be supporting Emma on her Girl in a Box tour in June. So how excited are you? How excited are you?
Oh my God, I'm so excited. I've done rehearsals, all pre-production is done. It's sounding amazing. I cannot wait. London is super close to selling out. It's going to be the best.
Yes, and where can everyone get their tickets?
Oh, Ticketmaster, C Tickets, the Manchester Academy website. Come and see us. It's
link in our bios. It's going to be great, guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
link in bio, yo.
Yeah, that's so cool. I feel like we sound like every influencer ever. Like, hey guys, like link in bio.
I know. I am not original at all. Technically, I am a bit of an OG now, but I have no creativity left. It's like link in bio. Click it. Click it.
Click it. Click it. Click it. So when was the last time you toured?
Oh God, last time I actually toured would have been late 2018.
Oh my God.
My first album, like October 18.
Wow.
Oh, that's shocking.
Throwback. I bet. Oh my God, how you must be so excited to get. I think especially it's not just like you supporting someone else. It's like your first tour back as a headliner. So you have like your fans. It's going to be so awesome.
It's going to be crazy seeing everyone again. You know, familiar faces, people I haven't seen before. People have discovered our music like in those years. It will be like 3.5 years by the time this tour comes around since I did my last tour. It's crazy.
Yeah,
absolutely
been a long time
crazy.
coming.
I cannot wait. I know, right? The world has changed.
I know. Literally. So to any newbies on here tuning in, tell them more about yourself. Like, what's your vibe? What kind of music do you release?
Oh, man. What do I do? What haven't I done at this point?
Yeah. You are quite the multitasker.
I'm a musician. I have been at heart for over a decade now. I've been releasing solo music for about 10 years this year. I also made a YouTube channel about 10 years ago as well, which did all right. It did okay.
It did super well.
Basically, I've made music and I have made content online for 10 whole years now.
Yes, so that's so awesome. So we're going to be chatting about your albums and everything else after this first game. So we're going to be playing our first music game. This is Would You Rather, Musician Edition. Ooh. Cue the theme tune.
Would you rather? 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 Would you rather eat my shit or free?
Okay, so number one.
Okay.
Would you rather never play live again or never songwrite and record in the studio again?
If I had to choose, absolutely had to choose, I guess I would say,
it's so hard, isn't it?
If I really, really had to choose, I guess I would say never play live again, which is terrible, seeing as I'm constantly trying to promote my tour. But I can't imagine life without writing music.
It is a therapy session, isn't it? It's great.
It is, but playing live is so amazing too.
I know, and seeing everyone's faces, but
Bronnie, that's so unfair.
I know.
What a question.
That's just me. Okay, so number two. Would you rather play sold out 50 cap rooms all over the world and play whenever you want, Or would you rather play sold out stadiums around the world, but you can only play twice a year?
How do you come up with these? It's so painful.
I had a lot of time on my hands during COVID, so I've come up with so many would you rather questions. I was just sat there like,
oh, I think for reasons I'll explain, I think I'll choose the big arena stadium one twice a year, you know. So because I love intimate shows and I love the freedom of being able to play whenever I want, and they're sold out and everyone there loves what's going on. But I think when it's like twice a year, you can put so much more time into like pre-production and make it this huge spectacular thing, you know. And being in the stadium, you're playing to like 60 up to 60 to like 100,000 people. So, you know, say you play twice a year, say that's like once every 6 months, you know. It's just like you play and then as soon as you come off stage, it's like, right, let's plan the next one.
Let's plan the next one,
It could be amazing. So I guess I would say that, but there's such fun in playing smaller shows as well.
No, I get you. I agree. I would do the same, because like intimate shows, when you can play whenever, like it's so sick, and like the crowd and like being that close to them. But with stadiums, it's like you'd go large, you know, you get your own pyro. I want lasers. I want laser beams everywhere.
Electric rain, you know, electric rain, fireworks, everything.
And you'd have like
I would have a million.
Oh yeah, costume changes. I'd have a million different stages. So it would be like you're literally playing 100 cap to everyone. There'd be like a stage next to every single person ever. And
That's clever.
Oh my God,
that.
the catering would be out of this world. That is
God. This is not some weird humble brag, but I was fortunate enough to tour and open for Busted back in 2016. And arena tour catering is amazing.
Literal
it's
chef's
so
kiss.
Good.
Backstage in like 100 cap rooms, it's like, yeah, I got a meal deal.
Crisps.
Yeah.
And nothing.
There's 12
People
bar
do not
for
eat
you.
well on tour. You can try all you want. For the first 2 days, you might eat some carrot sticks or whatever. It goes terribly after day 2.
Then it goes back down to
terribly.
Mackey's.
Like McDonald's, yes.
Yep. I literally live off coffee. I mean, not sure if you see my stories, but every day I'm like,
I have
10th coffee. And my fans
it explains how you're
me.
so crazy.
Yeah, maybe. My fans got me these Starbucks, like £10 gift cards.
Oh, no.
So I was just like, this is a coffee overload, and it was great. So,
oh my goodness. I can't do coffee. I hate it. I don't like the smell of it.
Oh, I love it.
You know, I tried it for a while. I really tried to force myself to like coffee. I tried to like drink lattes at Starbucks, and I can't get behind it. The smell of it in the morning makes me just feel.
I would happily do a tour of the world, not just music. I'd just do a coffee tour. Yeah, rate everything. I'd make everyone else's lives easier, and I'd be like, okay, this coffee shop, 10 points to Gryffindor. This one, not so much, you know.
Just coffee world tour from Bronnie.
The coffee world tour. Okay, so we have our third Would You Rather. This is probably my favourite one. Okay, so you can only listen to one decade's worth of music forever. What decade are you going to pick? You're allowed to choose a 10-year period, e.g. like 1865 to 1875, even though I don't really...
Well, into my Beethoven, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
When I grew up and remembering so many albums from that decade, it would have to be the 2000s. It just has to be.
Yeah. I get you.
All of these amazing albums that came out, you know, Paramore, the first Panic! At the Disco album, which was and still is amazing.
Yeah, throwback.
My Chemical Romance, you've got 3 Cheers and Black Parade. I might not listen to them every day, you know, I might not listen to them for ages, but if someone said to me like, I'm taking those away from you, I couldn't handle it, you know.
Yeah.
So
well, it's like saying to someone in their 50s, like, you can never listen to the 80s again. They'd be like, what?
Exactly.
It's like their time. Yeah. So you've released 2 studio albums, Villains and Girl in a Box, and a load of awesome EPs and singles, including one of my favorite songs of yours, Sucks to Be You. I'm pretty sure you played that when you supported Busted, was it?
I did, yeah.
I was jamming out. I was there. I was like an OG. Emma fan.
Yeah.
What I want to ask you is, what 5 songs would you show to someone to get them hooked on your music and to get a gist of who you are as a person? If someone was new, what 5 Emma songs would you say? Okay, chow down on these songs.
Oh goodness. I would have to say my latest single that came out like about a month ago or so is like What Have You Done For Me Lately? Because I absolutely love that. It's very garage rock, you know, and I haven't done that before. But
I hope you'll be playing that on tour.
Sound.
Will it
be? I absolutely will be. I guess I would say Sucks For You.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fan favorite for some reason. People love it.
I love it.
Sorry if you can hear my cat meowing and howling in the background.
We accept all cats on this radio show.
She wants my attention and she cannot have it right now. Because you have it. I guess I would say thirdly, maybe Don't Come Home.
Mm-hmm.
Because people seem to love that one as well. It's quite heavy and people really enjoy that sound. Crying, I love crying. You know, I don't love to cry.
Yeah. Crying. We all love a good cry. I love crying.
Don't we all? Exactly. I would probably say my song Shadow Play, which is also from Girl in a Box. I think that's basically, a pretty decent selection and pretty good representation of my music there.
Awesome. So what was the process of like the writing process of Girl in a Box compared to your first album, Villains?
Oh, it was weird because, I wrote both albums myself, like with demos, like in my home studio and things like that. But obviously the timing difference. I mean, I wrote Villains back in late 2017 to early 2018. And I was down in Brighton and I was living on my own. I came up with the whole concept myself. I came up with the titles and I just had this like whiteboard of like, right, I'm going to get these done. This is the theme. And like start to finish, I just did everything so meticulously. I knew I wanted it to be this pop album. It's very much just pop. It mixed like alternative pop and just like full on, like top 40 kind of pop sound. It was always going to be a weird album, but writing that, I wrote the demos and then I worked with external producers to further those demos. So I co-produced the entire album. And that was a real learning experience. With Girl in a Box, I wrote the majority of the songs during the pandemic. It was
the dreaded word.
Between those 2 albums, yeah, I know. Between those 2 albums, like, I fell in love and started living with my partner who has helped me produce stuff and helped me write stuff. So it's been a completely different.
Who is a legend, by the way. I think I've known him since like 2017 when I toured with The Tide. I think he was tour manager for The Tide.
Yes, he would have been.
Yeah,
he would have been. I met him like a year later. So it's crazy.
Cute.
You've known him longer than I have.
Madness. I love a good love story.
He's a legend. So just totally different writing experiences, basically. Literally not comparable at all. And the albums sound completely different as well. And I love that. I didn't want to work the same album twice.
Yeah, no, I love that. I love when artists experiment as well.
It's definitely the experimental second album.
I love it. All bangers. So obviously you were releasing like loads of EPs before the album. So what made you go, okay, I'm not going to do another EP. I'm going to go for it and do an album?
You know what? It wasn't something that I originally planned to do. I didn't know what I wanted to do, but basically I got in talks with an independent label. And they said that they'd found me through like Spotify and playlists and things like that, and they wanted to work with me and they wanted to like basically put in a little bit of like money to help like promote what I do next. And they were really intent on an album, and I hadn't even thought about doing an album. I thought maybe do another EP, but basically that really spurred me on to be like, oh, I guess it's naturally time for the second album. So without that happening, that weird twist of fate, like I don't know where I'd be right now. But sometimes you need a little bit of inspiration, right? You need something to spur you on.
Yeah, you need a little bit of a push. And then it all happens, it all works out.
It all happens for a reason. So, I'm very proud of it.
Oh, amazing. So let's talk about the time you supported everyone's favourite childhood band, Busted. How was it?
Yes.
Oh my
the
God, tell
weirdest
me more.
experience of my life. It's still so surreal. Like, I can't believe it's happened. You ever have this like weird out of body experience where you're just sitting there and they're like, I did that.
Yeah, and you look back and you go, what? Like I have that with
Was
Little
that
Mix.
real?
Like I supported them in
Yeah.
2017, and I'm like,
You
oh my,
did,
like one of the
yeah.
biggest girl bands.
Yeah, it's like, did that happen? Did I see that happen with my own eyes?
I'm so glad I
Basically,
have videos saved from that day, because doesn't
me
it just
too.
you
Me
just
too. It's
forget?
like
It's
it's
just all
without them.
blur.
It's like I couldn't prove that it happened to
Yeah.
myself, let alone other people. Basically, what happened was I started working with a manager who found me through my performance at Summer in the City back in 2014, and he happened to be the manager of Charlie Simpson at the time, and I think he still is. We worked together for a couple of years, but because he wanted to develop me as an artist, it was my first ever like music manager that I ever had, and everything ended on good terms. You know, we parted ways, but everything's all good. Basically, yeah, because he was Charlie Simpson's manager, the Busted hadn't got back together yet at that point. But he told me, he was like, you know, I've got some news to share with you. Busted are going to get back together. I was like, what, with Charlie? And he was like, yeah. I was like, what?
Wow.
No. I was so excited because they were my favorite childhood band. Busted were the reason that I picked up a guitar when I was like 12. I wanted to be in Busted. I wanted to be in Busted. So it's very weird. And he said, like, you know, I've got you the support. And I was like, oh my God. So it was me and then Wheatus, who are
Love
amazing,
Wheatus.
the loveliest people in the world. And then Busted. And it's like, I cannot believe that happened. It was like 18 dates. It was like Wembley Arena, O2 Arena, like Manchester, Sheffield, Bournemouth, you know, just so many places up and down the country. And it was so mad just following their tour buses around with like a little like splitter van. You know, I hadn't even done my first ever headline tour at that point. I was so green to it all.
So was that your first ever tour?
Pretty much. I'd done like a couple of like shows with other like content creators, and I had performed at Summer in the City headlining before I shaved my head for charity. But apart from that, no. I was very much thrown in the deep end. I learned the hard way very fast. And there were mishaps, you know. My backing track crashed a couple of times, including the first date, Wembley. Yeah, that was you know, nothing will ever be as scary as that ever again in my life. Yeah, trial by fire.
At least you can say you've been there for the scariest moment of your life.
Exactly. You know? It's like no matter what I encounter from now on, nothing will be as scary as that moment. You know, you start the first verse that sucks for you, and then the backing track in your ears just goes down. And I got off stage, and we just were waiting to go on stage, and they were side of stage, and they just looked at me like, "How did you carry on?" I was like, I didn't know what else I would have done. So it was quite cool to get that sort of approval from Wheatus,
especially
like,
from Wheatus.
Yeah, exactly. It was like, you just carried on. I was like, well, yeah, the alternative is to like freak out and run off stage, right? I was like, I'm not doing that.
I probably just shit my pants and then just leg it off stage and go,
well, that was certainly
clean up on aisle 7, you know, man.
I thought about it.
So it is now time for your song of the week.
Song of the week, song of the week.
So it is time to choose your song of the week. It can be a song that changed your life, a favorite song by your favorite band or artist, a song connected to a core memory. Emma Blackery, what is your song of the week?
What I'm listening to right now, I've gone back to Infinity on High by Fall Out Boy.
Oh,
I was in school when that was released. And there's a song, I think, bloody Fall Out Boy title. I think it's called The Take Over, The Breaks Over. I think that's what it's called. It's something along those lines by Fall Out Boy. So I guess I would choose that.
Amazing. So I shall be playing that. Yeah, one of my favorite Fall Out Boy albums is From Under the Cork Tree.
Oh, it's amazing. God, that was like 2005, I think, that album.
So you started out as a YouTuber back in 2012, and you're still doing YouTube after all these years on top of music, like mad props. I know how long it takes to prep, film, edit, view, you know, YouTube videos as well as doing the music. Right? So what made you start doing YouTube videos? Did you have any inspiration starting out?
Oh yeah, for sure. I at the time it was like 2011, when I created my first ever channel that didn't really work out. I think everyone had the first YouTube channel. But in 2012, I created the channel that is just youtube.com/Emma Blackery, because I'd been in a couple of local bands, and we played a couple of gigs, and they weren't great, and my voice wasn't great. But basically, my second band, fell to pieces. It happens, especially when you're young, right? And
as
I made
does every
decision,
high school band, yeah.
Exactly. But I made the decision to be like, you know what, I'm only going to release music myself now. So I got some demos done, and I put together a little tiny first EP, which is 10 years old this year, which is shocking. Oh my god. And I created my channel to promote that. So I uploaded this EP on Bandcamp, and then put a little music video that I filmed myself on my first ever DSLR that I bought on my credit card, because I was working as a waitress at the time for BHS.
Right.
For a couple of years. So I know, throwback. BHS doesn't even exist anymore. But I bought a DSLR on my credit card. It was like 600 quid. I was like, I'm never going to pay this up. And filmed this terrible little video in like the woods or like a field near my house, and put it up, and it did okay, like as an independent artist does in 2012. But then over that summer, I started watching Dan and Phil, another YouTuber who was, I think they were reading Twilight at the time, and critiquing it. And basically I was like, I could do comedy. I'm hilarious. So I decided basically just to emulate the things that I was watching. I started doing sketch comedy, and I started 2012 was the year that everyone was reading 50 Shades of Grey.
Yes, that was the whole hype of it. Yeah,
it was literally 2012. Everyone was obsessed with it, and I got in at the right place at the right time. I started a series where I read the book from like front to back, and just critiqued it after like a couple of sentences, going, this is the worst thing ever. And one of those videos took off, and then comedy just started doing really, really well. I think by early 2013, so I started in like June 2012. By I think February 2013, I had 100,000 subscribers, which was amazing for back then. Now you've got channels like 100 million subscribers, but back then, that was pretty damn good. And then it reached like 500,000 by like I think the end of that year, 2013. I was in the right place at the right time. The comedy, started doing really well, and then I started reintroducing my music. So I started doing music and comedy side by side, and eventually I just sort of progressed to trying other things like self-help videos, beauty videos, gaming videos, and then just what I do now is I just sit down and I talk about my experiences in the music industry. And I'm really, really enjoying it. It's crazy to think I'm still doing this after 10 years, when it was really, looking back, it was a decision that's pretty like on a whim. I thought it was a serious decision, but it's absolutely not a serious decision, but it paid off.
I love it. I love hearing how people, it's basically everyone's butterfly effects. Like if you had never done a YouTube, would you have been releasing albums?
I would not be here right now at all.
It's insane.
I just thought,
I love it. I just love getting in-depth conversations about,
it freaks me out.
It
freaks me out so hard that I had to make every decision I've made to be here right now. It's weird.
Everything happens for a reason. In fact, me and my band, we were sat outside yesterday, and we were literally in the rain, just sat outside, like chatting at 10 p.m. Just chilling. It was like a little movie scene,
like bros do.
And we were like, isn't it so weird? So we spend so much time rehearsing, doing social media, promoting gigs. We go on stage, and people pay to see us play our instruments and have a good time.
Yeah.
But it's like whenever we go on stage,
it's amazing.
I know it's just so cool. But when you sit down and think about it, you're like, this is the coolest job ever. And then
I know, I do.
You go on stage and you go, Glasgow, how's everyone doing? And no one actually goes, yeah, I'm actually doing all right. Everyone's just like, wow. Like imagine having a normal conversation with someone, like you bump into someone like from high school on a train, you go, how's it going? And they go, ah. It's like,
it's so weird, right?
It's just the coolest.
It's such a surreal, situation to be in. I feel so fortunate to be able to do it. It's all I ever wanted to do ever since I was so young.
And we're doing it. And we're going
I
on tour together in
know.
June.
Oh my God, next
It's gonna be a
month,
sick time.
Bronnie, next month.
Next
What
month.
the hell? How has it come round so quick?
And London's nearly sold out, everyone. It's going to be such a sick time. Now, I just want to ask you one more question because I have just got a message saying we only have 5 minutes left on this Zoom chat. Have you ever been starstruck?
Oh God, have I ever been starstruck? I don't know if I have. I don't think I have. No.
Yeah, fair.
I mean, I guess I don't know about Starstruck so much, but I remember back in like 2009, 2010, I was like the world's like biggest fan of a band called Placebo. I mean, I had posters on my wall.
Oh yeah, they're supporting. I'm seeing them support my
album. It's mad, isn't it? Yeah, it's gonna be so cool. But like I had every album. You know, I was on all the like forums. I was a massive like street team kind of fan. And then they released a new album in 2013. And I found out that they were doing a live sort of production sort of thing at the Google building in London, in central London. And I knew people that worked there. So I sent a cheeky email going, hey, this is my favorite band ever. Can I come along and just watch? Just cheeky. I thought, oh, why not?
You don't ask, you don't
and
get.
They were like, hey, you know, I'll put you in touch with their production team. And I got to do an interview with them. And I just like proverbially shat my pants.
Yeah, wow.
You know, it was really, really cool. And that's up on my YouTube channel. You know, it was really surreal, really weird. Just sitting there like, I'm just having a chat with these people that were on my wall for years.
Yeah, massive inspiration.
So I don't know about starstruck, but it's just, it's one of those that just takes you out the moment. You just like,
you take a step back and you go, okay, is this real life?
You're here right now, right? You know,
yeah. It's you.
So,
touching the face.
It's like without touching them, because you know that wouldn't have gone that well. So yeah, I think that would probably be the closest. Aww. It was a weird moment in my life. It was nice though.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for being on the show. Hope you had a good time.
Bronnie. I can't wait to see you again.
I know. Like the way we say I can't wait to see you again, we've never even met each other.
I can't believe we haven't met.
So bad.
I feel like we have.
I know. Which is what I love.
I'm going to give you the biggest hug when I see you.
Same. I am such a hugger, by the way.
Ready. I'm gonna grip you good.
I will grip you.
I've known you forever. It's ridiculous.
I know. It's so mad. But yeah, thank you so much for being on the show. And where can everyone find you on social media?
Oh my goodness. Pretty much every single social media handle I have is at Emma Blackery. No underscores, no anything. Just that's my name.
Amazing. Amazing. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, Bronnie.
This is Bronnie on KCC Live. Follow Bronnie everywhere at Bronnie Music.